Grover Cleveland. Key achievements and events as the 24th President of the United States. 1. Panic of 1893. President Grover Cleveland faced the severe economic downturn, known as the Panic of 1893, shortly after taking office. The crisis was marked by bank failures, stock market collapse, and widespread unemployment, prompting Cleveland's administration to implement measures to restore confidence in the economy. 2. Repeal of the Sherman-Silver Purchase Act. Cleveland successfully advocated for the repeal of the Sherman-Silver Purchase Act in 1893, which had contributed to inflation and financial instability. The repeal aimed to restore confidence in the gold standard and stabilize the nation's currency. 3. Pullman Strike. Cleveland's presidency was marred by the violent Pullman Strike of 1894, which erupted in response to wage cuts and poor working conditions for railroad workers. Cleveland intervened by deploying federal troops to suppress the strike, citing the need to uphold law and order and protect public safety. 4. Wilson-Gorman Tariff. Cleveland reluctantly signed the Wilson-Gorman Tariff Act into law in 1894, which introduced modest tariff reductions, but also included provisions for a federal income tax. While the act aimed to address concerns about protectionism, it failed to satisfy demands for more comprehensive tariff reform. 5. Venezuelan Boundary Dispute. Cleveland navigated a diplomatic crisis with Great Britain over the boundary between Venezuela and British Guiana in 1895. His administration asserted American interests in the Western Hemisphere and championed the principles of the Monroe Doctrine, ultimately securing arbitration to resolve the dispute peacefully. 6. Hawaiian Annexation. Cleveland opposed the annexation of Hawaii during his second term, withdrawing a treaty negotiated by his predecessor that would have annexed Hawaii as a U.S. territory. He argued that the annexation lacked popular support and violated principles of self-determination for the Hawaiian people. 7. Civil Service Reform. Cleveland continued his support for civil service reform during his second term, advocating for merit-based appointments and professionalization of the federal bureaucracy. His administration implemented measures to expand the civil service system and combat political patronage. 8. Homestead Strike. In 1892, prior to his second term, Cleveland faced the Homestead Strike, a labor dispute at a steel plant in Homestead, Pennsylvania. The strike erupted over wage cuts and working conditions, prompting Cleveland to send federal troops to quell the violence and restore order. 9. Legacy of Fiscal Conservatism. Cleveland's presidency is remembered for his commitment to fiscal conservatism and limited government intervention in the economy. Despite facing economic challenges and social unrest, his administration prioritized balanced budgets and reduced government spending. 10. End of second term. Cleveland's second term concluded in 1897, making him the only president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. His presidency left a lasting legacy of principled leadership and dedication to upholding the constitutional principles of governance.